What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today is finally time. Mashle Academy is finally releasing. With this video, it's going to be more of a direct style video where I'm just going to be explaining the overall progression, PvP and PvE of the game, maybe some like other features that you might want to look out for. Here's the timestamps for each part of the video. If you want to skip to a specific part because that's what you're looking most forward to, feel free, but I recommend watching the whole video just so you understand everything. To start off, I'm going to be talking about the basic build making. So this game, it does have a lot of variety with builds. Currently, there's 5 different weapon types, with 2 more being added very soon after release. The current ones being wand, fist, shield, gun, and lastly sword. And then the 2 that are being added is going to be rapier and greatsword. So there's a decent amount of stuff you're able to choose from right now, and they will affect like how you PvP pretty drastically. To start off, let's click M to get to our menu, and this will show basically all your stats and everything you'll need to know about for the game. Right here is the weapon, so you're able to craft different weapon variants for your weapon class. So right now I'm fist, and I have venom entrails as my weapon. So what weapons do is they'll change up your crit. So my crit right here, as you can see, it launches me forward and it'll poison the enemy. If I decide to use the basic fist weapon, this is my crit, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to show all of them, but there's around 5 per weapon right now, and more are going to be added in the future. And no, you don't spin like these for type soul or anything like that. These, you craft them through progression, through boss drops, mob drops, etc. Secondly, we have artifacts. These can be dropped for specific ones, and some of them can be crafted. So all of them are going to be crafted through drops, obviously, that you'll get from mobs, chests, etc. But you can craft different artifacts that'll fit your playstyle better, and there's a decent amount to choose from so far. Now let's get into the investment XP. There's 5 different stats. There's muscle, magic power, durability, agility, and stamina. Basically, muscle is just all of your physical attacks. M1's actual physical abilities, like, for example, jab, rush, or Tatsumaki. Actually, Tatsumaki kick is neutral, so that doesn't count. But like jab, rush, anything that's physical, dragon rise. And then we got magic power. Magic power will scale your magic damage, obviously, so that works better with like the wand weapon because it has magic scaling moves. And for example, my hybrid race, which is obtainable through progression, I have Scorpion right now, the move does scale with magic, so as you can see, it does 0.9 per tick, but most of the damage actually comes from the poison debuff that it puts on the enemy, so that's where like most of the damage will be coming from. Another thing that could scale with it is Spirit Soul, which is my race ability, which does 5.37 per hit. And then you can pick up these orbs and they'll give you some of your stamina back. And if the enemy picks them up, they'll actually lose stamina. Okay, so that's magic power. Durability just increases your maximum health, obviously. And then agility will increase basically all of your movement things. So your dash cooldown will go down. So currently you can see I have a 1.5 dash cooldown. Default, I think, is 2-second dash cooldown. So it reduces it by half a second, which is pretty nice. I'm not sure if it makes you dash further, but it'll make your evasive faster. It just increases all of your basic mobility things, so it's very good for just traversing the map and like ganks and stuff if somebody tries to run away. And then lastly, the stamina stat. This increases your maximum stamina, and it'll also increase your stamina regen. Stamina is very important just because that's how you use your moves, and a lot of the time people will be running out of stamina in fights, but you do gain stamina back by attacking enemies. So for example, this dummy, if I keep hitting it, let me use some moves. You see this bar is at 6% right now. Once it gets to 10%, you'll start gaining stamina back for landing M1s, attacks, everything. So now you can see next to my stamina bar, it's at 0.5 per M1 is what I'm gaining. And so if I do like Dragon Rise, I got 7.8 back. Getting 0.6, 0.6. So yeah, you gain stamina back every time you M1 or land moves once you have this bar. And this bar is called your surge meter. So after 10% is when you start gaining stamina back from moves and M1s. And at 100%, you'll do something called like popping surge or like activating surge. And what that does is you get like 40 health back, and then you get infinite stamina for like a duration of, I think, like 40 seconds, I think, around there. So it's very useful. You won't really be popping surge in 1v1s most of the time. It'll mainly be like team fights and ganks, but it is a very good thing because once you pop it, I mean, you have infinite stamina, you can actually spam your moves and hopefully turn the fight around if it's going poorly. Now let's get into magics. Currently, there's 15 magics in the game, 5 per rarity, so there's 5 common, 5 rare, and 5 legendary. And no, unlike other games, the rarity does not matter. It's literally just all about the user. One of the best magics in the game is water, and it's literally a common. I personally use Tornagus, which is like the wind magic, and it's a rare, but all magics are good. It just depends on how you want to use them. What usually sets legendary magics apart is just kind of how flashy they are, or like they'll have certain like text, or like you have to have a like very specific playstyle for them. For example, if I have spaces magic, your Z will spawn planets, as you can see, and if you walk into them, they'll blow up. Same thing happens if an enemy walks into them, so that's good. So like you can fake out. So for example, let's just say I want to go attack this dummy. I can do 3 M1s, spawn my planet, walk into it, and it'll blow up, dealing magic damage. Another cool thing about the planets is if you use your C, with the planets, it doesn't matter how many you have, they'll all go to the middle and they'll blow up. The enemy can parry the planets, or they could PB, which is perfect blocking the C, but I mean, they have to learn the timing for that, and it's not like it's the easiest thing to do. You also have the X, which if you teleport, it'll bring the planets with you, so you can teleport onto the enemy and have them hopefully blow up on them. These are just some small examples of what you can do with that magic, but yes, like I said, there's 5 legendary, 5 rare, and 5 common magics, all of them with different playstyles and different techs that you'll have to learn. Now let's get into our weapon. Each weapon has 3 skills and then a passive, so these skills can be learned at different ranks in the game, which is like kind of how your levels are. Max rank is Z rank, but that's only if you have 3 marks, and the marks are kind of the meta progression of this game. They're permanent character progression where once you unlock a mark, you'll never go back down to the lower tier. So there's 3 marks. You start as 1-liner, and then you go to 2 marks, and then 3 marks. Base max level with 1 mark is A rank, and then 2 mark is S rank, and then 3 mark is Z rank. So if you're gonna be a fist user like myself, even though I do like switch around weapons, sometimes I'll play shield, it just depends. You'll start off with Enraged Fist, then you can unlock Jab Rush, and then Dragon Rise. And then the 4th thing is the passive, that every single weapon will have its own unique passive, and for fists, every time you guard break an enemy, it'll make you teleport right on top of them. So say I'm pretty far away from an enemy, if you use a move and it block breaks them, you'll just TP right on top of them, and you can just start up a new combo. And finally, the last tab is basic. This is just all of your normal skills. If you look at my hotbar, all of these are just like your basic skills for the most part. At the very bottom will be your utility, which these skills are automatically able to be unlocked from the very start of the game. And personally, I would recommend Broom Strike. It's an air counter, so if somebody tries to get on the broom to run away, if they're not in combat, or if you just hit somebody up into the air, you can use Broom Strike as an air counter. It's a very good ability. The rest of them are also pretty good. Like if you're magic, you'll want to use magic transfer, so your M1s do 50-50 scaling with muscle and magic, and battle cry will slow people down if you use it from behind them, just etc. The rest of these skills you'll have to unlock from scrolls, which scrolls can be unlocked through chests as drops. So basically you'll get a random scroll sometimes from chests, and if you use it, you'll unlock that specific ability in your basic tab. But if you unlock a scroll that you've already had and use it, you'll get scroll fragments, and then with 5 scroll fragments you can bring it to an NPC in Upper Wildwood, and you'll get to choose from a scroll of your choice. So it's not that hard to get abilities that you want, but sometimes it can be a little annoying just off the start if you get like a random ability that you obviously don't want to have. So each category, so like primary, secondary offensive, defensive, and mobility, you can only take 1 ability from. So you'll have to choose wisely, like you'll have to choose what you want specifically for your build. But for example, I chose Tatsumaki Kick, Seize, Magic Trap, and Shadow Blitz, but obviously choose whatever would fit your build more or what you just like to experiment with. And all of these can be reset in-game for free. You don't have to spend Robux to reset your abilities. So if you do choose an ability and you end up not liking it, you can just get something to reset it in-game as a drop. And it's not very hard to get, so don't think you'll have to like grind for 5 hours just to get that. I believe the support category you can have multiple things from, but I personally don't have anything for my build. And then utility, you can also have multiple things from. So if you want Broom Strike and Magic Transfer, you can have both of those. To actually unlock these abilities, you'll use skill points, and these are just obtained through leveling up. You also get skill points for having certain marks. So 2 mark and 3 mark, I believe, will give you skill points, unless that was changed, but either way, you'll get them through the levels that you obtain from those marks. And then just the last category over here is just character overview. It shows all your stats. You'll see your boosts, and then there's passives, which these can be from clans, races, etc. All of these, so triple liner, you get 300 magic mastery cap, 10 skill points, and then you can get to Z rank. And magic mastery is kind of how you unlock your magic skills. 1 mastery, you get your first move, 50 your second, and then 100 you get your third move. And then at 200 magic mastery, you can obtain your seconds, which is your mode. I'm not going to go like in depth on how you obtain your seconds in this video, because that'll be something for the future. But all I can say is it's very worth it to obtain your seconds, because I mean, it's your mode. It's very big power spike, and it's very cool to pop it in ganks. And with your seconds, you will have a meter down here below your health and stamina. As you can see, it says 0%. When you start hitting enemies, it goes up. So now I'm at 4%. I'm gonna get this to 100%. I'll kind of just show you how seconds look and what Tornagus one does. So when you're filling up your meter, it won't go down unless you get out of combat. So as you can see, if you hover over this, I'm at 26 combat duration. So yeah. And to pop your seconds, once you actually have it unlocked, you'll click K. But if you're below 50% health and you click J, you'll have like a mini mode. And basically what it'll do, it'll reduce your cooldowns by 25%. So like your M1s will be 25% less cooldown. Your moves will have 25% less cooldown. And it might have another like slight buff. I'm not 100% sure. I kind of forget. but that's just kind of like a semi-mini mode. Your main mode is the seconds, which is by clicking K. So right here, I'll pop it. So you can see, it does this whole animation, a little cutscene. And there we go. So Tornagus, you get a rapier. Your crit stays the same, so that's kind of like with the build making, your whatever weapon variant you have, you'll keep that crit, just to make things different. But the M1s, as you can see right here, boom, hit this NPC. And the M1s for seconds are dual scaling, except for muscle, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's still just basic muscle scaling. But these are dual scaling, so even if you have stats into muscle and not magic power, you'll still be doing good damage, and vice versa. And with Tornagus, what this does is it has aftercuts. So if we go over here, and as you can see, you have TP dashes as well. If I go to the normal dummy, I don't know if you can really tell, but it will be doing extra damage even after the M1 from the aftercuts. It does like apply like a little bit of bleed. So it's very good. These are pretty good M1s. A lot of the seconds have very different M1s from each other, so they're all pretty unique, and they'll have like kind of different play styles with them. Now I'm just gonna slightly touch on the PvP and just explain how the system mostly works before hopping into actual Overworld and showing you some of that content. So this game is technically parry based, but it's a little different than you might be used to. So normally if you just hold F, it does not parry. You actually have to hold F and then click M1, but you can do this very fast, so you don't have to like hold it and then click. You can just instantly do it, but it's actually very useful, and it plays kind of into how the combat works. So you can be blocking an attack. Say this M1 string right here, you want to block it, so you're blocking 3 hits, and then you parry the last hit and go into your own attacks. So it's not like Deep Woken where you'll instantly just parry just off holding it. You can block something and then go into your parry, and it just lets you have a bunch of different kind of mix-ups, and overall plays into how the combat feels. On top of parries, there's also perfect blocking. So if somebody uses like an attack, say they use this tornado, right? And right before it hits me, I could either parry it or I could perfect block, which is just clicking F at the right time. Perfect blocking is a lot riskier because it's a lot shorter of a window, but if you land a perfect block, they will be stunned, and it'll allow you to just lead into free attacks and start a combo on them for free without having to worry about them parrying or like dodging out of the way. And then lastly, I'll just kind of explain, there's 2 different types of parries. There's perfect parry and then normal parry. Both of them basically achieve the same thing. You're parrying the person, but what perfect parry is if you actually land the parry within like the first, I think it's like 0.15 milliseconds of the attack, or like 0.20. It's something like that. It's not super hard to achieve once you actually get used to the combat, but at first it might be kind of hard. The difference between perfect parry and normal parry is you will gain more stamina back for landing the parry, and then you'll also not get launched backwards, I believe. So yeah, if you see this is a perfect parry. Okay, so see that was perfect parries. It's a higher pitched sound for the parry, and it lets off some like green particles. Now if I want to try to do normal parry here, let me get over to the NPC. Sorry, that's a normal parry. See how I get launched back? If you can see, when I landed the normal parry, I was getting launched back. So perfect parry is this. I'm not getting launched back. And then that's a normal parry. It kind of hits you back a little bit. So you slightly get stunned if you don't land a perfect parry, but you can still go into combos off of it. It's just not as good. So perfect parries are very ideal. You will want to be landing those, but it's not the end of the world if you don't land one, because you still have an advantage. There's also feinting, which was recently added. So originally feinting used to be a utility move, but now it's just auto bound to your right click. So as you can see, you can feint. You can also feint your abilities. So if I try to use my X, you can feint that and you get the stamina back, but obviously it goes on cooldown. And there's also evasive, so on top of the parries and perfect blocks, you can evasive. So if you're stuck in an attack, you wasted your parry, you're getting completely destroyed, you can click G as the default keybind. I rebound mine to R, but you can click G and evasive. This will let you get out of attacks, and then your evasive meter will fill back up based on you taking damage. It's a minute cooldown by default, but the more damage you take, the faster it goes down. Also, the dashes apply iframes, so say there's someone attacking and you want to dodge like that, it applies iframes. You can hear the little whoosh sound. See right there, you didn't hear it, but if I dodge it, hold on, there you go, whoosh sound, it has some particles. So that's also another reason why going 100 agility could be good, because it lowers your dash cooldown, meaning you can dash more often. There's also a feature called pivoting. So if I want to use an attack, let's say like I want to use Dragon Rise, I can use it and I can dash, and if I dash, it'll give me iframes during the move, and it'll also let me dash forward. So like say somebody's pretty far up. Actually, I'll do this example. So if I'm fighting someone, let's say like I'm doing 3 M1s, I want to use my crit, I can dash back to bait their parry out, and so it gives me like a little extra time because my crit will push me forward. So boom, dash back, and so it can bait out their parry and they'll miss their parry on my attack. It can just be used in a lot of different combos, and you'll find different ways to use it. And if you miss a parry, you're stunned for a little bit. So I'm going to hold W and parry, and you'll see how long I get stunned for. So as you can see, when you use your parry, you're kind of locked in place. You can't really move forward. And then another thing is something called focus lock. So focus lock is, for me, I have it bound to Alt. I'm not 100% sure what the default keybind is. It might be middle mouse button, but it would be focus target. That's the keybind. Basically, what happens is it makes them have that little red box around them. So normally if I run and try to attack somebody from this far, nothing happens. But if I'm locked onto them and I run, then it'll do a running attack. So that also works with other moves like Broom Strike. So if someone's in the air and I use it, let's say I use my Z, they're in the air, I can Broom Strike them. I just got PB'd by that NPC, but I can Broom Strike them because they're in the air. If I wasn't locked onto them, then the Broom Strike wouldn't work. You auto lock onto people if you M1 them, but it doesn't change to a new target unless you actually manually do it. You can turn on a setting to where it will manually switch targets. I forget where the setting is, but it is a setting in here. You can have it so it manually switches targets, but I wouldn't recommend doing that because if you're in a big fight and somebody's trying to run away from you and you have to hit somebody else that's in front of you to try to get to the target, it'll switch the thing and you might not be able to land your Broom Strike or just something else. So I feel like it's always best just to have it so you manually put it on, but you can do it however way you want. One reason I really like this combat is there's a lot of like parry baiting. So like you can do 2 M1s, wait, somebody might parry, boom, go into more M1s. Or instead of like waiting, you can also just do feint. What I like to do a lot of the times, I'll do like 2 M1s, I'll do like a little dash or like a slide, and I'll go in. And so what I'll do is I'll do like 1, 2, slide, or you can do a dash, it just depends. Dashes, you'll have a little bit of end lag, so I wouldn't really do a dash. Most of the time, I'd prefer to do a slide, just because it kind of fakes people out and they think like you're coming in with an attack. But you could parry, or you could just not do anything. It just depends on kind of how you want to do it in that point of time. There's also unparryable attacks and hyper armor attacks. So a good example of one that you can't parry would be Blood Severance, which is like the demon race move. So if I use it, you can see my character flashes yellow, and that means you're not able to parry it. Same with Poison Breath for the Scorpion hybrid. I flash yellow. That means I can't parry it. And then one that is hyper armored, but you can parry would be something like Tatsumaki Kick. You can see the charge up isn't hyper armor because I didn't flash red yet. But once the move happens, you can see right here, I'm red. So during the entire red duration is whenever it's hyper armor. And now I'm going to do like a quick 1v1, just kind of show you how the combat works right before we hop into Overworld. All right, here we go. So right there, I use my tornado right into that magic trap. As you can see, I landed a perfect parry. And okay, I missed that. He used his ice shield move, but let's see, I can get it. 2 M1s. Oh, he dodged it. Use a little feint. That's my hybrid move right there. A very good move, but oh, I just whiffed. Oh, yep, combo that. Oh, that's close. Magic trap on the ground. Oh, okay, watch. I can use Broom Strike after this. Boom. Instant Broom Strike. So that air counter is really good. Oh my gosh. Feint. Oh, okay. And there we go. Won the fight. But yeah, so the combat, there's a lot of different things. I'm a little washed because if I'm being honest, I haven't really fought in this game in a while. So bear with me, but that's kind of like the basic combo potential and like just basic PvP you'll find in this game. There is a lot more you can do, but like I said, I'm a little washed, so bear with me. If I fight for a few more days, then I'll get back up to where I used to be. All right, now we're in Overworld. Currently, this is a completely different build because this was an overworld build I made, and things are going to look a little bit different. So to start off, you guys will be put into a tutorial, and the tutorial will just show you the basic keybinds of the game, basic features, and kind of just explain to you how everything works. In this tutorial, you will fight something called a Hell Minotaur. It is kind of a joke mob that's in there, but what happens if you do defeat it, which you can pretty easily if you actually understand the attack patterns, is you'll get a permanent second wind. Kind of like Deep Woken, when you wipe, you can get a second wind. This game does have wiping, but it's very forgiving, so realistically, if you don't want to wipe, you probably won't. For full release of this game, they're thinking of maybe removing wiping or adding like a feature where you can choose to not wipe, but you get a little less XP or something like that. It's not finalized, but for now, there is wiping in the game, but it is very forgiving. So if you do end up defeating the Hell Minotaur, you will get that permanent second wind. So if you do eventually wipe, you will be able to just revive for free, no money, you don't have to pay anything, you can just revive. This little green thing right here is the Tornagus Cane spirit. So every magic has canes basically based on your magic elo right here. You get magic elo from defeating enemies, etc. So that'll increase your cane, and canes will increase your max magic mastery by 250. It's not a huge increase, but it is just something to look out for. And magic mastery past 100 or 200 will, all it does is just, it'll increase like the passives of your magic. So Tornagus procs bleed with the wind's aftercut, so it'll just kind of increase that slightly. And when you do have a cane, it will make your username the same color as whatever your cane is. So there's 3 academies: Walkus, St. Ars, and Easton. Most of them, they're pretty similar, just their academy layout might be slightly different. But in the dormitory, which is where you'll spawn, there's this NPC right here, Assistant Cliff. And what you'll want to do is click on, I want to redeem codes. This is where you can type in codes. And for me, I do have my own code. So my code is subscribe, it's Vamprex right here. See how I pasted it out? What you want to do is just type that in and click enter. Currently, it's not like in this version of the game, but it will be once the release happens. So what you want to do is just use this code, subscribe _ it's Vamprex. I'll have it pasted in like a pinned comment or description, and you'll get 40 gold coins, which is like equal to 2 rerolls. It's not a lot, but it is a permanent code that'll never go away. So anybody who plays on an alt account or new account, whatever, just 2 free rerolls to play with. So it's something. This is the main hall, and to start off, what you want to do is kind of go to this quest log. This will show you your main quests, which is kind of like, not technically, it's not a storyline, but it's kind of like the order you'll want to go in quests. And technically, you can skip these. If there's a quest you really don't want to do, you can click this button right here and you can just skip the quest. You'll never be able to go back and redo the quest, but you can skip it. I don't recommend doing this because you do get XP, chests, mark progression, etc. from quests. But if there is one you're really struggling on, then it doesn't hurt. You can just skip it. There's also side quests, which can be found around the map from certain NPCs. Right now, I've only discovered 19 out of 34, but these side quests can range from finding a desert rose and giving it to an NPC, donating 100 coins to a veteran, or whatever. Some of these are defeating enemies like the Ravager. Some are doing world events like Goblin Witness. Goblins are a world event, and these, you know, you just defeat it and you can do a side quest for it. There's also daily quests. So these reset, they're called daily quests, but I'm pretty sure they reset every 12 hours. These are kind of like your reproggable quests that you'll kind of want to do every time they reset. So for one of them is this guy's quest. It's the janitor quest. You'll literally just mop. It's very basic quest, but it will give you coins, which are very helpful early game for unlocking your weapon skills. So as you can see here, for my gun maneuver, it costs 1,000 coins to unlock the first skill. So these quests will just help you early on, just unlocking that stuff. And these can range from very early game stuff to very end game stuff. Like the Exalted Justice, this is very end game currently. So you probably won't be doing this early on, unless technically you can go to that area as a level 1. There's no level lock in this game. You don't have to be a certain level to go to certain areas. It's just recommended based on your progression and how far you are into the game. But if you are skilled, you could go wherever you want and progress however you want. There's no like linear progression that you have to follow. And once you're done looking around this area, you can go to this magic rift, and this is the world map. So these are all the different regions. We have Wildwood Settlement, we have the desert area, we have Upper Wildwood, and then we have the Tundra. There's also the entrance to Hell right here. This is not the full Hell area, this is only the entrance that has like the blacksmith and B2, which can be used to get artifacts and just things of that nature. There's also your hybrid race area in here. And to talk a little further into hybrid race, because I didn't really touch on it that much earlier, and just races as a whole, you will start off with any like a random race. All races are technically good and all races are viable. There's no one like best top race, and in my opinion, I actually think the rare races are better than the legendary races in this game. Every race will have a passive, and then they'll have an evolution. You obtain evolutions by getting a crimson heart and then just eating the crimson heart, or like using it, and you'll get your evolution move. So for me right now, like I had in the test place, I have Spirit Soul, which is the elf evolution move. There's also hybrid races. So hybrid races currently don't give passives, but they do have evolution moves. So if you evolve your race and you have a hybrid race, or if you evolve and then get a hybrid race, you'll get your hybrid race move as well. Hybrid races are obtained through mob drops, and it's mob drops for that specific mob that you want to become a hybrid with. And hybrid races moves are generally like an iconic move from that specific mob. So with my Scorpion one that I had in dev place, it's the Scorpion Breath from the Scorpions. If you get the Minotaur hybrid race, it'll do like a backwards kick. If you get the Ritual Demon one, it'll be his like stomp move, and then he kicks a little like fire disc. So all of the hybrid races are pretty cool. They all have very different moves, and so you can just kind of mess around and see what you'd want. Also, when you're in your academy, you can see these statues around here. So if you interact with these, you can see there's something called academy buffs. So the statue of beasts, every creature has its own purpose. Learn as they teach you the way of life. This will show basically the score of each academy for this specific buff. So this statue's blessing, if you're in St. Ars, you'll get 10% increased magic mastery from defeating enemies, and plus 20% increased chance of mob drops based on rarity. So there's a bunch of buffs that each academy can get, and I'm on Walkus right now, so this is the statue that's lit up. You can see the passives in your passives bar, plus 10% experience boost from defeating enemy players, and plus 1 additional loot from claiming bounty skulls. That means that we have like the most player kills, we have the most points in this specific category. There's 4 different categories for the buffs, and each category will give you 2 buffs. And I believe every month they're going to reset just so one academy can't just skyrocket to the top and have everything. And there's also academy balancing. So let's say Walkus has the most players, and then second is Easton, third is St. Ars. If Walkus has 10% more players than St. Ars, nobody will be able to join Walkus until St. Ars gets more players, and it kind of evens out. This will just help stop one academy having way too many players and just completely being skewed. And then these kind of flag things are the top guilds in each academy. So for Walkus, we're actually the top guild right now, number 1, Kisana. We have 26,000 influence. You gain influence just off playing the game, defeating players, etc. And right before we actually teleport to the main map, I just want to touch a little bit more on wiping. So wiping this game, like I said, it's very easy not to wipe. The way the system works is every time you die, you'll gain something called detention meter, and when that meter reaches 100% detention, you'll get sent to detention, but you don't instantly wipe. What happens is you actually get sent to Mash, and you have to fight Mash, and he'll scale with your level. So if you're level 1, he's going to be very easy. If you're level 100, he's going to be a little bit harder, but he's still not that difficult. He really starts scaling once you unlock your seconds and get like 2 mark and 3 mark. If you do end up wiping, there is progression that does save. So what will save is, like I said earlier, your marks. If you have 2 mark or 3 mark, you'll keep that. You also keep your clan, race, and magic. You also get an XP buff. So there's something called level milestones in this game. So the way it works is whatever level you got to, for example, E rank, D rank, C rank, right? It'll be a % buff, and it caps out at A rank. So if you wipe at A rank, you get a permanent 2 times XP buff, and that counts for all of your slots. So the first time you ever wipe at A rank, you get a permanent XP buff. So what I honestly do with my builds is I get to A rank and I'll just wipe my character and just reprog. Once you get that 2 times XP buff, it's honestly really easy to progress, just because the fact that you're progressing twice as fast. And so everything you do is literally just double XP. So a lot of like the heavy XP missions and stuff, once you do them again, they're very, very rewarding. But if you are scared of wiping and you're really close to 100% detention, what you can do is go to Teacher Vermilion. So every academy will have a teacher. You can click N to see where they are, and you'll go to this classroom. I believe it's every hour. Yeah. So in 50 minutes, this happens every hour, there will be a class session. Basically, all you do is you just come in here, you sit in a chair, and it'll be like, what's 5 plus 5? What's Mash's favorite food? Like stuff like that. Like very easy questions, and you'll just get like 10% knocked off your detention bar. Your detention meter also just goes down by defeating enemy players. So people from other academies, if you defeat them, you will just get your detention meter lowered. There's also detention scrolls, which drop as an epic chest drop. Basically what it does is it just lowers your detention. So like I said earlier, it's very easy not to wipe if you don't want to, but obviously the risk is still there if you're just going into ganks and constantly dying. And all of these will be posted on the Trello as well, which I'll have posted in the description of this video. So make sure you check that out. But now we'll go into the Rift. And just to start off, we'll teleport to Wildwood Settlement, because this is where you're going to be starting the game. You start off in this area, you can just come out here. This whole area is a safe zone, by the way, so you can't get hurt here. No one can hurt you, don't worry. This is kind of just the basic area where you'll learn how to play the game. If you click N, this is your mana sense, and so you can see some of these NPCs around. This icon right here, you see, is like your quest NPCs. Some of them are daily quests, some of them are side quests, so watch out for that. This is your TP, so if you want to teleport to a different overworld TP you have, or if you want to go back to your academy, you can do that. Headmaster is up there. He can send you to Mash, which is how you wipe, but you can also kill him for progression. The merchant is over there. There's also bounties in this game, so you can get bounties on people and go hunt hunt them down. This game has PvE progression, but you can also only do PvP progression. It's completely up to you. There's nothing like locking you into just doing PvE, but generally you'll be doing both just because that's the fastest way to progress, and in my opinion it's just the most fun. If we take our broom, I have a different broom skin, but you can obtain it just through playing. Come down here, here's the forge. Basically, this is where you can craft different weapons. So earlier I was talking about different weapons. Like I had a different fist weapon. This is a different gun weapon. What you want to do is I want to forge new gear. You can craft equipments, which there's 4 different tiers, obviously, and they'll all give you like kind of different stats and whatever. But for weapons, say I wanted to craft a wand, you can do silver wand, venomous tendril, scorched scepter, worm frost. And as you can see, a bunch of different weapons for each class. You can also upgrade your weapons right here, which will just increase the damage. So it's very useful. You get these from chest drops, killing people, etc. And then here you can upgrade your broom. This will increase how high you can go on your broom. I don't think it increases the speed. It'll just increase your maximum height, which is very useful just for traversing the map in general. Now, before we go and explore a little bit outside of this area, I want to show you the last thing that you'll need to really figure out, and that's the Forgotten Legend over here. So this is where you spawn. If you come right out of the spawn and go to the right, or if you come from the TP and just go right back here, this is the Forgotten Legend. This is where you'll re-roll your clans, races, and magic. So the way you do that is by using a currency called golden coins. Gold coins can be obtained through chests, through winning events, things like that. They can also be from codes, so remember, use code subscribe _ it's Vamprex. But as you can see, there's bestow upon my clan, bestow upon my race, and bestow upon my magic. If I were to go try to reroll my magic, you can see I have 2,756 gold coins, and it costs 20 gold coins per reroll. There is a pity system in this game, so at 100 rerolls, if you don't get a legendary, it will just give you a legendary no matter what. And the cool thing about this pity system is it transfers between all 3 different rerolls. So say you roll like 30 magics, and then you got like a rare magic and you wanted to keep it, right? You'll still have 30 pity, and you can use that pity towards, let's say you wanted to roll your clan. So now you'll have 30 out of 100 pity for your clan. So you can get like you can roll like a magic first, and then once you get whatever you want, if it's not a legendary, you can go and roll a clan or a race and get whichever race you wanted if it's legendary, just based off of the pity transferring over, which is a pretty cool feature. Now, if we go back to the starting area and get on our broom, we want to go past here. This is just the Wildwood Forest area. The goblin event will actually spawn right over here, just in this general area. Here's a sparkfly you can gather, okay? That's something. And if you do get killed in this game, you will lose all of the items you have in your player pouch. So that's where the inventory comes in. The inventory system, basically how it works is you can get items from chests, killing bosses, etc. And if you're in combat, you can't transfer it to your inventory. So somebody could kill you and you will drop all the stuff in your player pouch. But once you get out of combat, you can click deposit entire pouch and it'll put it in your inventory. And stuff in here, you're not able to lose on death. So this is like permanent storage. You can't lose stuff in here. This is basically just like a safe space. Now around the map, there's a bunch of different NPCs, a bunch of mob spawn areas, but currently I'm going to show you guys the Mushroom King. Alright, so here's the Mushroom King spawn. This is a very early game boss, so it is pretty basic, just based on the fact that you're going to be early game. You're not going to have much progression, and you don't really know how to play the game that much yet. So it is still difficult. It's not easy, but it's easier than a lot of the other ones. So if we want to start off by fighting this guy, let's combat tag him. When he turns green, what you'll want to do is parry, like right after, like, wait a second. Here, I perfect blocked that one. When you perfect block, your screen will kind of turn purple. Let's see it again. Parry that. Like I said, he has very basic attacks just because he is early game. This one you have to dodge very last second. As you can see, he does a little belly flop on the ground. Let's see what he's doing again. Belly flop. Dodge that. Let's see. Oh, and there we go. I block broke him, so he kind of fell down. There is block breaking mobs in this game, so when you do that, they will be stunned, and you'll get a lot of free hits. Just keep hitting him. Also, oh, I just got hit. See, it ragdolls you. Early game, you won't be doing this much damage to him, so I mean, I'm kind of shredding him a little bit just because I'm more progressed, but he is an early game mob. This is one of his other attacks, or not really attack, but another ability. He can go underground and start healing health. But there we go. Damage him. Oh, got hit. But yeah, so you can see his health at the top. He has around 2 bars left. Let's dodge that. Let's keep hitting him. He's gonna heal. When he heals, it isn't that hard to do more damage than him if you have more people. But if you're solo and you're low level, it is kind of difficult. There we go, dodge that. Infernal trigger. He's around 1 bar left. Oh, got hit, but it's fine. He's very low. Just a few more hits and he should be defeated and block broken, so yeah, there we go. And when you kill him, you will get a trophy. You'll get some drops possibly. And yeah, the trophy can be turned into an NPC to get some rewards. I believe you get like epic chests, some mark prog, XP, etc. But yeah, so that's just one of many, like, these technically aren't even bosses. They're like mini bosses, if that. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. This game has a lot of kind of map exploration to it, as well as just PvP and PvE. But I'm gonna go back here because I don't want to, I don't want to spoil all the map and kind of show where every location is, because I want you guys to actually explore for yourself. But I will probably make videos in the future kind of explaining where things are if, people are struggling a little after release. But for now, I'm actually gonna teleport to Tundra real quick and just show you one of the Minotaur mobs. Now, like I kind of said earlier, there are TPs in like every region. So every region will have like kind of a little safe area with some NPCs, like doctors, merchants, etc. that you can go to, as well as the teleport. Now, this is the Tundra area. The Tundra lies right behind this wall that's breakable. Down here is the parkour to kind of get up here. Now, to get past this wall, there will be bomb. Like, I don't know why it's not here right now, but there are bombs you can buy, or you can use abilities that break walls and have like high impact. So if I use Nalcos right here, that will destroy the wall, it'll blow up, and this should disappear very soon. There we go. Now, the first Minotaur spawn I will show you because it's very close to here. But I want you guys to actually explore the Tundra for yourselves, so I'm not really gonna go too far and too deep into it. And right here is one of the Minotaur spawns. As you can see, I have Frostbite, so every 30 seconds you will freeze and take some damage. So you can get Frostbite resistance. That's from a different quest line. I will show you that in a different video, but currently I'm not going to show you that. Let's start fighting this Minotaur. Shoot him with my gun. Oh, there we go. You can parry this. There we go, get that. Dodge. Oh, got kicked right there. But so, like I kind of said earlier, this is going to be the mob that's in the tutorial, except it's going to be a hell version, so basically it just does more damage, has more health. It's not too hard to defeat once you learn the attack patterns, but it is difficult if you're just starting out. But once you learn it, I mean, it does the same patterns, so obviously you can mix up moves, but once you learn what each move is, it's not super hard. As you can see, I'm doing this pretty well. I only took damage from the kick because I kind of messed up there, but it's fine. Block break him, get some damage in. Dodge that. Let's see. Dodge that. Boom. Parry. And he's at half health. Almost took damage from getting frostbitten, but it's fine. Let's lure him over here a little bit, get him off the wall. He's kind of getting stuck. Let's see. 2 bars left, very low. He got block broken. Just try to get as much damage as we can. Ah, okay. Kind of messed up there, it's fine. And I could have, like, no-hit this guy if I really wanted, but I'm kind of just trying to defeat it as fast as I can, so I'm kind of just spamming moves. Because I am really high level, so it's not like, he's really going to defeat me if I kind of just dodge every once in a while. Parry that. Get him off the wall, because he's kind of bugging out. And he has a very tiny little sliver of health. Let's dodge his hammer, and this should be the last bit. Last dodge, and he should be defeated. There we go. So I got monster fragments, Minotaur trophy. You can get some other drops from him, but they are rarer. Those drops can be used to make some artifacts. They can be used to make weapons, armor, etc. That's all for the Tundra area. I'm not really going to go too deep into it because, like I said, I want you guys to explore and just experience the game for yourself. Honestly, I think that's about it for this video. I kind of explained how basic PvP works, overall progression in the game, as well as showed off some of the mobs that you can defeat. Those are very few mobs. There's a lot of different mobs in this game, all with very unique abilities and just attacks. So I want you guys to kind of explore, figure all that stuff out for yourselves, and just overall just explore the game, because this game is very fun. It has a lot to uncover and a lot of different things that like you wouldn't expect. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoy Mashle release being very soon. And with that being said, peace.